The days are getting shorter, and you can feel it in the air. Yes, it's that time of year. Pumpkin is finally back at Dunkin'. It's the cozy you've been craving all summer long, now in your cup at Dunkin'. Pick up all of your pumpkin favorites, like the signature pumpkin spice iced latte, or a pumpkin iced coffee, and bakery items like pumpkin donuts and muffins. Sip into something comfortable to celebrate the start of cozy season. Use the Dunkin' app for contactless ordering. America runs on Dunkin'. The days are getting shorter, and you can feel it in the air. Yes, it's that time of year. Pumpkin is finally back at Dunkin'. It's the cozy you've been craving all summer long, now in your cup at Dunkin'. Pick up all of your pumpkin favorites, like the signature pumpkin spice iced latte, or a pumpkin iced coffee, and bakery items like pumpkin donuts and muffins. Sip into something comfortable to celebrate the start of cozy season. Use the Dunkin' app for contactless ordering. America runs on Dunkin'.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Jade and XD. I am XD.
I'm Jade.
Yes. Wagwan, brethren.
Nothing. Nothing and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing and everything. What's up with you?
I'm okay. I've done a lot of self-care this week. I planned like a whole like glow up regime.
Okay.
Yeah, so like next Friday I am joining kickboxing.
My nigga.
I know.
My nigga.
Yeah, because I'm trying to look for alternative ways to relieve stress.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of, like happy hour. Because
Real.
that packs on the pounds and
It's expensive.
So I'm like, oh well, if I do kickboxing, it's not like the gym because I hate the gym.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, oh, I get to like, kick some shit. Like that's what's up.
Remember the one time we went to the gym together?
Yeah, you were pregnant.
Yeah, and then we went to IHOP after.
And did.
Gross.
I have not been to IHOP since.
Me neither.
Actually, if I have, it would actually no, I have. I've been twice. Once, me and Asante went for free IHOP, free pancakes.
Real.
Because I think, we just wanted free food. And I think I went on a date to IHOP.
What? Well, I see why you never dated this person again.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he's cool. I actually ran into him on the train. I didn't see him. Like, I saw him walk past. And I was like, oh.
I told you about I told you all about the one time, the one horrible date where I went to Chipoodles.
Wait, is that the worst date you've ever been on?
Yeah, because the nigga took me to Chipotle and called it Chipotle. Like, he was like, oh, we're going to go to this Spanish spot called Chipotle. And I was like, maybe this is something that I've never, maybe not. Maybe this is something that I've never been to.
That's literally the worst date you've ever been on?
I think so. And another time I went out with this Jamaican, so that already.
Yeah.
And he took me to Olive Garden, which I was like, you brought me on a hood rat date, my nigga? Like,
I mean,
it was low-key. It was halfway my fault, though, because I met him at Buffalo Wild Wings. But I met him, I went to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch the game. So I was with my family. I was with my cousins. And
I was about to say, you was parking lot pimping with your father there?
No.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's not that, but that has happened. But
okay.
he was at the table next to me, and we were on opposing teams, so we were like talking cash shit.
Yeah.
And then he asked me out at the end, gave me his number, asked for my number, and all of that. And then he took me to Red Lobster. To Olive Garden, same thing. And he just was not it, like, whatsoever. So he was also in the running for one of the worst dates I've ever been on.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Did I ever tell you the worst date I've ever been on?
I don't know.
It was the day I met you.
Oh, Lord. Didn't we go to Chipotle? Yes,
No,
we did.
I'm talking about the very, very first day.
Oh, Bapianos.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had met this guy on an app Unjacked, I believe. And he was one of those, like, at the time, I was really kind of like, oh, I need a man to stimulate my brain.
Oh, this was your Hotep phase.
No, girl, this was like 6 years ago.
Mm.
This is before like sapiosexual became a thing, which WTF.
Okay.
And so he was like really funny, but he was like, he was nerdy, he had glasses. I was like, oh, I'm into that, whatever. He was kind of like a blipster. He was like a light Danny, what's his name? Childish Gambino.
Okay.
So we were talking, schmoozing, yada, yada, yada on the app. And then it was late at night. And the next day, he was like, we should meet. I'm like, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
We're all at Vapiano's. That's the day I met you. And some other people were there. And so I excused myself to go meet up with old boy.
Okay.
So I tell him where to meet me. We're in Union Square, so I tell him to meet me in front of Best Buy. Now, if you've ever been to New York, you know that Best Buy is not hard to find in Union Square.
It's right on the corner.
It's on the corner. It's a big, ignorant-ass blue building.
Right.
Like that says Best Buy. You can't miss it. Stevie Wonder can see it.
It's right on Broadway.
It's right there. So
14th.
14th and
14th and Broadway.
It's 14th and 4th.
Is it 14th and 4th?
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So he was like, oh, I can't find Best Buy. I'm like, there's 2 locations. There's the Best Buy Mobile that's across the street and the regular Best Buy. Like, Best Buy is taking over for the 99 and the 2000 on Union Square. So I don't understand what the fuck you can't see. Mm-hmm. So I'm like back and forth. He was like, I'm lost. And mind you, this is not somebody who is new to New York. So anyway, finally catch up with him, and he catfished me. He does not look anything like those pictures that he used had to be like from like a life past. Like he was really like short and like chubby. And again, I've already told the story about how I was fat-fished a couple weeks ago.
Somebody was mad about it.
And they were mad and said I was fat shaming because I called that nigga whatever. Get the fuck. I don't know. Suck my dick. I don't care. So I was just like, listen, this isn't what you were selling when I was trying to buy. Like, I've been hoodwinked.
And that's the bottom line.
Right. So I was like, let me be kind. Let me be nice. Because due to contrary belief, I am a nice person. What that's supposed to be? Are you saying I'm not a nice person?
Listen.
People have been saying all week that I am not a nice person. I am a wonderful, pleasant human being.
People have also told me I'm not a nice person. And you know what I did? I took it and I ran with it. Okay? So you want to call me Ursula, then I'm going to cackle like a villain. Like, and that's just what it is.
Oh, really? I'm not a nice person?
Birds of a feather. Do you think I'm a nice person?
Huh.
What is that supposed to be?
So I'm back to my story. So we ended up going to Starbucks. It was hot as hell outside.
Okay.
And
he got hot coffee.
No. So he goes in the line ahead of me. Like, he's in the head of me. And he's, like, saying random, like, weird nerd shit. Like, he reminded me of, like, a character from, like, The Office or, like, Office Space. Have you ever seen that movie?
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
Yeah. So I was just like, okay, whatever. So he orders on the opposite side with the black girl, and I order with the light-skinned man. So I'm done getting my Frappuccino, whatever, and I go over to him, and he was just like, the lady said, the total is 8 something, and I'm like, why is she telling me the total? Like, he said, oh, I don't have any money.
I feel like you told me that.
Yeah. So I'm like...
Which is fine if you would have just disclosed
If you would have said that and just ordered with me, but now I have to go over there and pay for you.
Because the thing is, he invited you out.
Yes.
So that's pretty much the bottom line. Like whoever, like it's not about, oh, you have to take care of this or the men. Well,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But he
Either
invited
way,
you.
you
Whoever
invited me.
invites the other person out needs to pay for it.
Right. But then it gets worse. So I pay for it. I'm just like, okay, whatever. So I'm like, I'm not going to be on this date very long. So we go into Union Square Park and sit down. This is where it gets worse. A homeless Asian woman comes up to us asking us for money. So, normally when homeless people come up to me, I'm always just like, no, I don't have anything. I'm sorry. I'm never like, or I'll just, if they're whatever, I may ignore them. Because what I've learned is that some people in homeless people in New York actually get an SSI check. But anywho, I learned that from working at what I do. So he stops the lady and proceeds to curse her out. And he tells her that since she's Asian, she should make money being a prostitute.
What?
Right.
No, you definitely never told me that.
Oh, well, that's...
I think you might have told me the Starbucks part.
Oh, well, that's exactly what happened. Mind you, this all lasted in the corner, like, about a 15-minute window.
Okay, so...
And so after that, I was like, I'm going to go back to my friends. And he was like, so I came all... Because he lived in, like, East Flatbush. And so that's kind of a ways if you don't know. This is still in Brooklyn, so... Suck with it. Yeah, so, like, he had to go all the way back. But I was just like, that is crazy. Like,
well, how can you say that to somebody?
Because he's crazy. Niggas are crazy. Crazy. I see now that he's lost weight and, like, he has friends now, so I guess he's kind of okay. But, still, I haven't seen him out and about because I don't go out and about, but in Instagram, when I see friends with him, I'm like, oh, that's the guy who shouted racial epithets at the homeless woman.
I would comment on every picture he's in and be like, do you know what a horrible person that is standing next to you? Like, he says very inappropriate things.
Yeah.
Well.
But how was your week? I know we...
Long. It's been long.
Yeah.
It has been long. And today was not a good day.
Was it a sneaky spiral of hate?
Yeah, it was. It started off with the fact that I woke up late.
Bitch, me too?
Yeah. Woke up late.
I woke up hella late.
I mean, which is partially my fault for my evening activities. But I woke up late. Okay, fine. Like, my nickname is Boots for Late Boots. So it's fine. But then I'm like, I can still bus it to work and be there pretty much on time. Like, it's not like I really have a super specific time that I have to be there, but I do at the same time for certain responsibilities. So I was like, all right, I'll be there at a super decent time if I leave. I can get this together. Then I ended up driving, and I know the way to go to avoid the majority of traffic. And what ends up happening?
You hit all the traffic.
And only because on these side streets, I'm running into garbage trucks. I'm running into 18-wheelers that decided they were going to bust a left. Like, it was just everything that was like, am I behind every bread truck in Brooklyn right now? Like, this is annoying. Then, finally got to my job. And what happens when I'm about a block from my job, where I can see where I should cross the street to go into the parking garage?
You can't find parking.
An 18-wheeler is trying to unload beer and is blocking the entire entrance to go into that street to go to the parking garage.
Oh my
so
gosh.
I gotta sit there, and then to make matters worse, I look over just like, let me just keep an eye on street parking because I don't have to pay for the parking garage if I find it, which I never do.
All right.
Found a street cleaning sign that says that street cleaning is going to be over in 27 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm annoyed. Then somebody eases right on into the spot. Not that I was getting ready to get it, but I was just annoyed that they even had the time to wait for street cleaning to be over. And then from then on at work, it just got progressively irritating. And then Noah had to go to the urgent care because I feel like she had an allergic reaction to like a bite. It's not crazy, but her hand was swollen.
Oh, okay.
So I think she had a crazy reaction to like a mosquito bite or something, and she got bit several times on her little hand. So, but she's fine. They just said put some hydrocortisone on it and like keep it pushing. Like it's okay. But it was just like one thing after the other. And the highlight, though, was the young lady who came up to me on the street.
Oh, yes.
With my intern and another coworker, and said that she was at the live show and that she listens to the show very regularly, and asked if we were going to do another live show before the year is out. So shout out to her and her daughter, because they both listen.
Yeah.
So
and we are going to do a live show.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do one. We'll let you guys know when that's happening.
Sooner than you think.
But, yeah, so...
Okay, so work's done and you're craving something spicy and salty. I know. What I do is snack on Blue Diamond wasabi and soy sauce flavored almonds. They're so good, and almonds are a superfood. Don't deny your cravings. Eat them. Blue Diamond almonds. Crave victoriously.
Okay, so you're between meals and you're craving something sweet, right? What I do is snack on Blue Diamond honey roasted almonds. They're so good. And almonds are a superfood. So don't deny your cravings. Eat them.
Blue Diamond almonds. Crave victoriously.
That was the highlight of the day. I will definitely. She did give me a smile.
Sauce.
Although my intern was like, wait a minute, what do you do outside of here? And I was like, mind your business. So.
Right. As always, you can listen to us on SoundCloud and iTunes and the Stitcher Network, as well as Podomatic that features us 3 times a day, every day. You can also listen to us via Podbean and Google Play.
Yep.
Make sure you give us 5 stars on iTunes and anywhere you listen. But more specifically, iTunes.
Come on, radio voice.
You can also shop our sponsors, Warby Parker, Audible, and Target, and Uber. Sign up to become an Uber driver today. Going rates are up to $1,500 a week.
Why do you sound like AM radio? Or like the music or like the radio station they play in the nurse's office. So like in between, they're like, yeah, so make sure you shop at Walgreens, and you know, they have candles on sale for 2 for $5.
Oh yeah, my NPR voice.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you know my one of my goals in life is to have a show on NPR.
Got nurse's office voice.
I know.
In between, and then we're gonna come back and they're gonna play like Michael McDonald.
Soft rock.
Yeah.
Let's give something to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. I hate that song.
So you don't like Bonnie Raitt?
Nah, I'm cool.
Okay.
I'm a different type of auntie.
I mean, okay.
I mentioned earlier that I had a pretty bad day.
Yeah.
But so many of our brothers and sisters are having way worse days than we are.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to definitely, if anything else, I guess we just want to start off by saying that we understand that you've been hearing this a lot. Like, we're not saying anything new that probably anybody else has said. You can listen to our friends on the Read and listen to our friends on the Friend Zone, and everybody's speaking on these issues. And I think just because it's just so disheartening. But we're not saying anything new. And I don't even think that we want to stay on it that long, just because we know that you all come for a level of refreshment, but we do want to make sure that we are socially responsible and also give honor to those who have lost their lives due to the hands of people of responsibility who are being senseless with their power. So that's why we have to make sure that we at least speak on it a bit before we can give you guys any sort of comedic relief.
Sure. Ooh, these conversations are difficult to have because sometimes a lot of the people that are people who listen to Black podcasts, like people who listen to The Read, The Friend Zone, us, Brilliant Idiots, all the other Black podcasts, we all live in a bubble, and most of us have pretty much the same ideologies and belief systems.
Mm-hmm.
Where the issue lies is that we have these conversations about Black Lives Matter and things about the movement and what we can do. However, we've kind of exhausted all that, and the people that need to listen and hear these things don't have access to us. So what I'm going to say is that in this particular section, you can let somebody listen who you know does not listen to us, or anybody. And I'd say that for every podcast this week. It's more than just us getting likes and ratings for this week or any time. But have your friends who you know that don't listen to podcasts at all. Have your cousins, aunties, uncles, even coworkers listen to these sections of why these things are important to us as people. And also, if you're around some white people, they need to listen to this too.
Mm.
Because what we oftentimes is have these conversations in these bubbles, and we fail to realize that none of this is our fault. Like, it's not us to fix this problem. It's white supremacy is the white problem, and they need to fix it. What I do feel as though is that we want to honor the lives of the people that were murdered, Mr. Sterling and Mr. Castile and whoever else died every 28 hours since those people were killed. And, you know, it happens so much that we don't have time to populate a hashtag or even get media attention to it. I've kind of avoided talking about these things, having repeat conversations, because it's like, at the end of it all, those conversations center white people.
Mm-hmm.
These are what white people are doing wrong to us. They are killing us. They are the cornerstones of capitalism and why we can't, operate and move and have, great economic success and all that good stuff, and recidivism and the HIV and AIDS, yada yada yada. It all goes back to this idea of whiteness. And I don't know if I can do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think I've gotten to my level of pro-blackness that I can only focus on black things and black joy.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, if I continue to harp on what white people aren't doing for me, then the enemy continues to win. Also, I want to point out that when DeRay McKesson was arrested,
Mm-hmm.
There was a quick and horrible discussion on the internet regarding his sexuality. And this is a conversation that's been had before. And the heterosexuals were like, I backed away from this movement because a top leader in this black liberation movement is gay, and I don't agree with that. I don't know when people have this idea or got this idea that gay people are less than. Well, I actually do know. It's a really antiquated Christian ideology, which is so weird because these niggas don't go to church. But I always find it interesting is that, the men folk who, are being murdered by the police, by just white people in general, the people that quickly go to their aid and support the most are Black women and members of other marginalized communities, the gays. And I'm always wondering, like, well, does it matter who supports you and who gets you free? Like, when did the road to freedom come with, like, I don't want this person to help to get me out of peril. You know, like, I want this person. Like, that's so weird to me. Like, how can you be picky and choosy of who is working to liberate us all? And it gets back to this idea that not all Black lives matter. Clearly not to white people. And a lot of times it's evident that it's not to Black folks either. Because I often think about the media attention that comes to when it comes to Black women who are killed. Mm-hmm. The trans people who are killed. And it's just like, oh, you know, and how excuse homophobia. And so quick, but they're quick to never forgive people who all lives matter us and say, you know, racial shit all the time. I'm not forgiving them because they stood about Blackness and blah blah blah. When somebody says some shit about gay people, it's like, well, you know, maybe they've grown. Mm-hmm. I've also learned that, you know, people don't have a comprehension of the way the world works outside of their high school education. And not even full, like, K through 12. Like, most people's understanding about the world only extends to 10 or 11th grade. Because it's like, no one ever learns, like, think about, like, ethnicity, race, and nationality. So many people have no idea that there's a difference. Like, at all. True. You never learn that in high school. You don't even really learn that in college.
That's because they don't teach you about life. Exactly.
That and public school system is so trying to whitewash everything.
Because tell me how many of y'all are using trigonometry right now.
They're not this Negro here. But the point is the fact that, you know, you can't, and we always talk about unlearning shit, but it's like you can't really unlearn things that you've never been taught.
Right.
So it's like when it comes to ideas of like racial inequality and gender inequality and all that good stuff, like those conversations aren't had at formative ages where your brain is developed and you've kind of done all the learning that you feel like you possibly could. Mm-hmm. So what then? And also it's kind of like what I've also noticed is that we're kind of like this moment of hysteria, right? People are saying some wild shit. Not just, you know, white people say crazy shit all the time because they're just crazy as people. If you've seen Going Clear, you know that white people are aliens.
Not all of them.
No, not all of them. There's some people who were, you know, saved. But for the most part, they are members of the 4400. But like what I've also noticed is that, you know, like black folks are in a moment of hysteria too. And you have to be careful with what the information and the things that you say. Like there's this video of David Banner and Lyfe Jennings at this summit filmed by TV One, where David Banner says a way to get back at, you know, to take what's ours again is to retaliate with the police, like fight back with the police.
That's not
absolutely not, nigga.
Which, if I can interject. Or you go ahead.
Go ahead.
Which brings us to the sniper. All right. So I know we always use stay woke, and we'll use it in humor and we'll use it in reality as well. Mm-hmm. But in this sense, it is like I need you to completely pay attention to the fact that they tried to paint this man obviously as a Black Lives Matter. A member of Black Lives Matter. And then also, there was an Instagram account that has 280,000 followers. Mm-hmm. Is private, has one post, and the tagline says something, something, something. and I hate all police 100.
Right.
Like, nothing about that is weird to you.
Right.
Like, nothing about that is strange.
Right.
Nothing about them saying that this man stopped in the middle of a shootout
And got a rifle.
stop to tell the police what his plan was. Like, nothing about that is like ringing any bells in your head.
Like they said, he had a manifesto and shit. I'm
right.
Like,
so he stopped in the middle of a shootout and was after killing several police officers to be able to like speak on what his movement and his cause was. Like, none of this is adding up
at all.
None of it. Like, pay attention to those things. 9/11. Like, if you watch Fahrenheit 9/11, you'll learn so much, including the fact that the Bushes and the Bin Laden were family friends. Like, they knew each other well. Like, this, none of that adds up. And the government is so twisted and so corrupt that it will frame things and it will sacrifice some of its own. Just like other people, it will sacrifice some of its own for the sake of proving a point. That really happens. That's not me being a crazy conspiracy theorist.
No, it is. I don't put anything past the government.
And then another thing. We've said this before. Because you speak on white people, and yes, they are the ones who are killing us for the most part. Like, they are the ones who are doing this. But another subject to speak on is the two different types of police officers that exist. You have the completely racist ones who will use every given opportunity to kill a nigger whenever they can.
Sure.
And then you have these scared rookie police who come from these other places and they're put into these hoods and they're pulling people over for whatever, for brake lights and for missing license plates and so forth and so on. And they get scared, or they're in the pink houses and they think they hear something and they shoot somebody. Like, there are those two different types of police officers, and both of them are equally dangerous. Mm-hmm. Because you have a police officer who is completely fearful of everything that's going on around him. So the first thing he's going to do is pull out his gun and shoot. And that is just as dangerous as the quiet skinhead who puts on his uniform every morning. Just as dangerous. And you guys don't care because you keep putting both types of people into these positions of power. Yeah. And the result of that is so many dead brothers and sisters for no reason. Some children, some women, some men, teenagers, college students. Yeah. You have a wreck of dead people here. If you put them all on a plot, it would look crazy how many people you all have killed for no reason. Yeah. And it's infuriating, because it's not changing, it's getting worse.
I do want to highlight one more thing. A couple of maybe a year or two ago, there was a post on forharriet.com There was a post on forharriet.com a couple years ago, written by Kimberly Foster, who was great, and it was about her saying that she wasn't going to march for black men anymore who were in the street. It was a tough pill to swallow, even for me. I was like, "What do you mean? Like, we need all the support we can get." And her post was about, like, why am I going so hard for people that would never go this hard for me?
Very true.
Sandra Bland it's been a year
Mm-hmm.
since Sandra Bland was killed in that prison in Texas. Um, you know, she had no reason to die at all. She
Mhm.
also was homophobic. And she made YouTube videos declaring that she felt that race was more important than sexuality in terms of equality. So a friend of mine, Francisco, who is genderqueer, so I'll use the pronouns them and they.
Mm-hmm.
They highlighted that, and with the same ideas that Kimberly Foster shared. Francisco explained, you know, well, the movement centers these black men, and you know, there are gay people, queer people. The Black Lives Matter movement was founded by 3 queer women, black queer women.
Mm-hmm.
You had people even on stage at the Hip Hop Honors with Darnell Moore, like, who lives in this neighborhood, by the way. But he, you know, he identifies as a member of the LGBT community. You have DeRay McKesson, who you know identifies as such, and all these other people speaking out. And for whatever reason, you have an issue with all this. Like, you would never, if this was happening, you would never come to our aid. And so Francisco received a lot of death threats on the internet because of that. Like, you should die, and all these things. And it's fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it
And
is.
and you know, we're not going to get free until we all are free. And that includes the people you may not like for whatever stupid reason. Because let's be honest, there's some of our friends who believe it or not, don't really fuck with gay people like that. I'm not talking about us, and personally, but some of your friends who are sitting right next to you. Well, I don't really understand gay people, and they're cool, and yada yada yada. But like, no, our lives matter too. So I just want people to be conscious of that, and how I feel that I probably going forward, I'm going to focus more on the black queer lives that are being killed. That includes trans people, because who else is going to stand up for them? The majority of folks haven't, so including black women. Who else is gonna do it? The majority hasn't. So it may sound fucked up to say, but until things change,
Pay attention to what's going on around you.
have these honest conversations. Rip off the Band-Aid. You might hate it. You might be like, I don't want to talk about this bullshit. Well, listen, no one wants to. But we need to. So, we done?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, I do want to mention, shout out to Alicia Keys and her, We Are Here, PSA.
Oh, with Mike News, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Including, was it 23?
Yeah.
23.
Although I had an issue with that, but it's fine.
Oh, Lord, what?
I told you before the show, it was just like, I feel like it's a little weird. Some people who just all lives mattered us last week, and now they're in, 23 ways to get killed by being black. That's a little weird to me. But hey, listen, some people may have had a change of mind. Some people may have been confused by what all lives matter means.
Mm-hmm.
But
and they were enlightened, and now they understand that Black Lives Matter. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and let them rock.
Yeah.
Because they, hopefully changed their ways. It looks like they have.
Yeah.
In respect to everybody who spoke out, it was really refreshing to see all of those faces directly speaking on what the problem is, including Beyonce, Kevin Hart, Adam Levine.
You also don't see race either, but that's
Who?
Kevin Hart.
Oh.
You see what I mean? You see where the problem was? But
we're just gonna focus on the video.
Okay.
And it was a positive video, and Alicia Keys definitely has the right, she's got the right idea. So, I don't know. I don't know at this point. Like, I don't know. You can be mad about so much, but I think at this point we need to focus on, just trying to figure out how this can, just go away, man.
Well, I have an idea, but the feds are listening.
Always.
Sierra and Russell got married.
Oh.
Yeah. Congrats to them.
Yeah.
They had a wonderful ceremony in London town. Kelly Rowland was one of her bridesmaids. Bridemaid.
You want to be my bridemaid?
Yeah.
Was Kim Kardashian there?
No.
How you miss your friends? I thought y'all was like tight like spandex.
She may have been at the wedding, but she wasn't in the wedding party.
Was Lala in the wedding?
Yeah, I remember seeing her there.
Okay.
I mean, what else does she have to do?
Design makeup and fly her friends around the world. I don't know.
Yeah. Congrats to them. However, the derelicts of society, aka Black Twitter, had issues with the video that was posted by media outlets where we see Baby Future. And again, I'm really mad she named that child Future.
Listen, I'm sure she regrets it every day.
Yeah. Baby Future calling Russell Papa. It's such an adorable video. Like, he looks like a bundle of, he looks like a Cabbage Patch Kid. Like, he is so cute. And it was an adorable moment. Like, he's a dad now, and, stepdaddy nonetheless, but he's still a father now. And he has
listen,
to be
you know what? I can talk about this nigga's, coif. I can talk about, his cheesy smile. I could really go on for days about so many things, but one thing I will say is that man stepped up as a daddy for that baby.
Yeah.
He did. I saw a picture by default of him and his brother, and his brother had his kid on his shoulders.
Yeah.
And Russell had Baby Future.
I gotta call him something else. What's I forget his middle name. I think it's Zaire or something.
Okay. Call him Baby Present.
Yeah.
Baby Past.
No.
I don't know.
Just baby.
Baby.
Yeah.
Baby.
Yeah.
Baby.
Just baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Baby was on Russell Wilson's shoulders, and it was like a daddy's holding their kids picture.
Yeah.
And so, say what you want, but that man stepped up.
Yeah, and niggas was like, that's not okay. He already has a father. Yes, he has a father.
Put the responsibility on him.
Right. And even so, that the whole tone thing, I was like, this sounds like when y'all talk about all lives matter. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes, nigga, we know he has a father. Damn, shit.
We know he got a daddy, but guess what?
He got another daddy.
Who's doing more.
And even so, it's most of the niggas who don't got no damn daddies complaining about the shit anyway. So, I know I'm not supposed to talk about this. So, let me talk. Well, I'll talk about this as general as possible. I'm going to talk about child support.
Okay.
Child support is a thing. And I wish people wouldn't, shy away from it. Because, it really saves, the man. You can't give more, this is court ordered. This is what I can give, yada, 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 right? But, you shouldn't really have children if you can't take care of them.
Yeah.
But, if you can't and it doesn't work out with your CEO, you get put on child support. It's fine. So, in the past couple weeks, I have come across men who owe ridiculous amounts of child support. And here's a PSA for those of you who owe child support or are women who are going through child support struggles, because this is to help everyone. So I have learned that you should put the child's father or even the mother on child support. Because if they somehow become delinquent, it goes on their credit report. So I have run into a couple of people and one gentleman in particular, who has $31,000 in back child support on his credit report.
What?
Yes. And when you have back child support, the government will garnish whatever money or income that they can. So that includes wages. That includes any type of annuity settlement or anything like that. But also, if your child's father or mother is on child support and owes back child support and they choose to go to school and they get a refund check, that refund check is going straight to the baby.
Yep.
A lot of people didn't know.
The days are getting shorter, and you can feel it in the air. Yes, it's that time of year. Pumpkin is finally back at Dunkin'. It's the cozy you've been craving all summer long, now in your cup at Dunkin'. Pick up all of your pumpkin favorites, like the signature pumpkin spice iced latte, or a pumpkin iced coffee, and bakery items like pumpkin donuts and muffins. Sip into something comfortable to celebrate the start of cozy season. Use the Dunkin' app for contactless ordering. America runs on Dunkin'.
Okay, so you're between meals and you're craving something sweet, right? What I do is snack on Blue Diamond Honey Roasted Almonds. They're so good. And almonds are a superfood. So don't deny your cravings. Eat them.
Blue Diamond Almonds. Crave victoriously.
I also want to let it know that, again, if it goes on your credit report, it prevents you from everything. Can't get an apartment.
No.
Can't get a car.
No.
Sometimes you can't even get a job because they run credit checks for jobs sometimes.
No. Isn't that about to become illegal?
Depending upon what you do for a living. Like, you can't work for, like, family court and owe child support. Like, what?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, but, yeah, so just pay your child support, guys. Like, it's okay.
Sometimes, like you said, it saves the man just because, or whoever is paying the child support.
Yeah.
Because
there are some people
who are trifling.
Yeah.
And they will really try to stick you for your paper.
Absolutely.
Like, there are those types of people out there, men and women. And then there are trifling men and women who also dodge their responsibilities.
Absolutely.
And they need to be put on some sort of documentation to tell them what they need to be paying every single month, which is never enough.
Absolutely not.
When it comes to those types of cases, it's never enough to truly take care of a child because it is so expensive to take care of a child. Let me tell you.
Oh, that's why I'm never having any.
Like, they are the biggest bill you're ever going to have in your life.
Yeah.
They're the biggest bill you'll ever have.
I'm still costing my mother money now when I'm 30.
Exactly. Like, I don't cost my parents money now, but I have a child.
Yeah.
And she's my biggest bill.
Yeah.
My greatest joy, but my biggest bill.
Oh, absolutely.
You always pay for the things that you enjoy the most.
Exactly.
Like vacation. So, child support is, like, don't frown on it. Now, I understand there are those rare cases where you're able to co-parent, and what that other parent does is actually...
I don't believe that.
Well, it happens in certain instances.
I'm all for co-parenting, sure, but get that shit in writing.
No, I feel you. I feel you.
Because you know why? Niggas change their minds all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm always like, with marriage, it's like, oh, well, you know, ultimately a nigga can change their mind. Which is why I believe, like, if you're gonna get married, you know, not this whole, like, oh, we live together, we don't need a title, yada, 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 yada. Like, no. If you're gonna get married, you know, that's a legal binding document. So therefore, there's some ramifications and repercussions if you decide to change your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You best believe and you best think. Is that a rape whistle?
You scared the shit out of me.
I'm sorry. That's not funny. That just came out of nowhere.
Listen, I'll tell you one thing.
Okay.
There was once upon a time if a nigga ran up on me that I'd gut him like a fish. But
That's fair.
now I realize if a nigga is writhing in pain on the ground,
Mm-hmm.
that's enough time for you to get away. So pepper spray and a whistle. That's all you need.
That's what's up.
And then, you know, a knife.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Put the nigga on child support. Like, I don't want to get him in trouble. No, Nick, put him on child support. Damn it.
See, the words "I don't want to get him in trouble" are already problematic because
we
you
have
are
to
implying
we have to empower our young people. No, our people to see that these things are important. We have to empower our people to see what God has provided for them. And what God has provided for them is child support.
Say a word.
Did you see the hip hop honors?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, if you're gonna lie, be a little bit more convincing. So the hip hop honors was this week, and they honored the prominent female figures in hip hop.
I hear Queen Latifah was a part of it.
Yeah, it was the women who were honored were Big Teeth,
Okay.
Big Latifah, Queen Latifah, Salt and Pepper, 30 Years in the Game,
Mm-hmm.
featuring DJ Spinderella. You know, she from the Pink Houses.
Mm-hmm.
Missy Elliott.
She deserves it.
Yeah, and Little Kim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was her birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it was ruined.
Yeah. I was going to get to that at some point.
Go ahead.
So, the show was really nice. Eve hosted. You can tell Eve has, you know.
The ultimate goals, my nigga. Like, the glow up is real.
No, that's just how I can tell you haven't watched the show, because she had on, like, have you ever gotten your hair braided in the Bronx?
You know I haven't.
Have you ever gotten your hair braided in Harlem?
Go ahead.
You know those ladies who do those who braid their hair and all that good stuff. Like, they never have the right shade of makeup on. It's always really light,
Mm-hmm.
and it's always like a wig that sits like a fitted.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Like a Tyler Perry wig.
Yeah, that's exactly what she had on.
Well,
that was
listen.
her face and her wig.
What I was
Same Bronx color or Harlem color and everything.
fashion fair,
Not even fashion fair. It was like,
dollar store.
yeah,
Wow.
they didn't do her right.
Well, guess what? She's married to a billionaire. And that is what I meant by her glow up and her ultimate goals.
So you want to marry a white billionaire?
No, I don't want to.
Okay.
Not my goals.
Okay.
But I mean, Eve was like a stripper in Philly.
Who has a sex tape with Stevie J?
Like, if that's not rock bottom, I don't know what is.
That's true.
And now she's got like 3 white stepkids.
That's VV true. That's true.
You and Dutch in this VV. Yo. He was like, it's VV hot.
Yeah, it's
about
very,
halal
very
guys red sauce.
Yeah. It's very, very hot. Like, it's very, very dope. But yeah. But anywho, The Lil' Kim tribute, Tiana Taylor did amazing.
I saw clips.
Remy Ma stayed true to herself by wearing things that are 6 sizes too small.
I saw that too.
Yeah. She stayed true to Fordham Road.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like easy pickings.
Absolutely. French Montana was there. I don't know why. And Lil Mama did really well too for the Kim tribute.
Right.
But then there was a problem. You know, Lil Kim, she came out, she performed my favorite song by her ever, which is Queen Bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they went into, you know, some of the classics from Junior Mafia. The Get Money remix.
My jam.
Yes. My Moschino Ho, my Versace
Hottie.
Hottie. Come to find out,
She
you
was
was fucking
fucking
everybody.
everybody.
To know about me, the fake IDs, cases in Virginia, body in DC. Pay my own bill. Okay, so, you know, that would have been great. And she brought on her quote-unquote friend, Rich Homie Quan, to join her on stage. And he,
ruined it.
yeah.
Destroyed Biggie's lyrics.
Yeah.
It was a travesty.
Yeah. It was, you're done?
I'm just trying to be that nigga. Like, you know, you have that one friend where it's like, you know, things are bad for you right now. And then you got the one friend who's like, you know, it's going to get better. And da-da-da. And then you got the one friend, my nigga, that's the worst thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to be that person today?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, while you're waiting for more adjectives, I'm going to go on. He forgot the words.
And mumbled his way through it.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah. And then he went on the gram because, you know, the Instagram is like, you know,
CNN.
press. Yeah. And it's your own personal press room.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally, because niggas are clearly using it for such.
Yeah, you can have a whole press conference right on the gram.
Like, set up your 6-foot folding table,
Mm-hmm.
the one that you use to barbecue with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And, like, put your laptop in front of you and make this shit look legit.
Yeah.
Backdrop.
That's what Instagram is. So he went on and said, you know, I apologize. You know, there was some technical difficulties and I was nervous. I meant no disrespect. I love Biggie. Then he went on to say how he didn't grow up on Biggie. He grew up on, like, Outkast and all the members of, like, the Dungeon family, which is also great and understandable. However,
That's like all lives matter.
Yeah.
That's what you just did. We're not talking about Outkast. I love Outkast, but we're not talking about them right now.
Like,
You forgot Biggie.
Yeah.
Like, so whether you grew up on him or not, you should have practiced this ridiculously before you came on this stage and performed.
Right.
Like one of the greatest rappers of all time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, at least he apologized. I mean, you know what? I'm going to give him kudos for saying he was nervous.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. The technical difficulties, that's a cop-out.
Yeah.
But you
Everybody
saying that
says
you
that.
were nervous, like, it's cool. Like, there weren't no technical difficulties, nigga. Everybody's mics were working. That's how everybody knows that you mumbled your way through the words. With no technical difficulties. But if you were just flat out nervous, then I can respect that. If you can say that.
Yeah.
My bad.
Now it's time for Cocktail of the Week.
Our cocktail today features blood orange. You're going to need 2 ounces of Hennessy, the juice of half of a lemon, 1/3 of an ounce of agave nectar, 1 ounce of fresh blood orange juice, and 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. If you want to spruce it up just a little more, you can do a splash of citrus bitters. Make sure that you shake well and strain into a rocks glass. Add fresh ice and garnish with a slice of your fresh blood orange. Make sure you listen to Jade and XD every single week for cocktail tips and cocktails.
So we, this may be old news by now, but I feel like this bears discussing. So, and it pains me to even talk about this because she's literally my idol.
Uh-oh.
And hell, I named this whole shit after her. Shit, like, where do you think the experience part comes from? Like, Wendy fucking Williams.
Oh, yes.
So oh, fuck. Oh, God. It's like always when you're... And Wendy has always said problematic shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Wendy has always said some bullshit. And I've never overlooked it. I'm like, yeah, she says bullshit all the time. And she has made bullshit into, like, lemonade. Like, she has turned this shit. Like,
absolutely.
She has turned her horrible ass comments into a career. That is amazing.
I'll give her that.
Like, that's how Charlemagne got started. Like, and you know, Charlemagne had says some wild shit all the time. But he was allowed to do that on Wendy's show.
Right.
And now Charlemagne is everywhere, like hosting town halls and shit on MTV and VH1 and he's got Viacom on lock.
Word.
Like he's like the nigga like Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, low key, yeah.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah. Like I'm down for that. That's what's up. But Wendy said last week on her show that on the other hand, I would be really offended if there was a school that was known as a historically white college. We have historically black colleges. What if there was the National Organization of White People Only? There's the NAACP. So she went on to, basically talk about, like, I understand why there's historically black colleges. I understand why there's organizations just for white people. You wouldn't like it if there was stuff for white people now, would you? That's exactly what she did. Wendy Williams from Ocean Township, New Jersey said that. Wendy Williams from Ocean Township, New Jersey, whose father went to a historically black college, as well as her brother. She also said this, Wendy Williams from Ocean Township, whose mother is a member of a Black Greek organization.
And Wendy Williams from Ocean Township, New Jersey, is black.
Yeah. Yeah, she married one of the biggest drug kingpins on the East Coast, who's now her manager, Big Kev. Wendy Williams' son also is addicted to K2. But that's neither here nor there.
Allegedly.
No, that's not even alleged. She said that shit on her show.
Oh, Lord.
So, in all of this, she got a huge sponsorship taken away by Chevrolet.
I know.
Yeah. You know why? Because the CEO is a Howard graduate. So, Wendy tried to clarify her statements. It didn't work. Lost the contract. And mind you, they just started working with Chevy.
Mm-hmm.
Not too long ago.
Yep.
So she lost a big deal of money.
She did.
So, Wendy.
We don't have that much. You know that.
Yeah.
So why would you try to justify saying some bullshit about the little bit that we have as a people? Like, we don't have that much. So if you want to call a college a historically black college, when we come from people who were not allowed to be educated and not allowed to know how to read, and the ones who did know how to read had to do so in secret. So now that we're able to celebrate that, and we have these historically black colleges, and there's so few of them compared to PWIs, why would you say something like that? Why would you downplay that? Why would you all lives matter the situation?
Yeah.
And I know it's a recurring theme, but that's exactly what it is. Like, why would you do that? You're taking away from something that we have to be proud of. Because these are not institutions that say you can't come in if you're not white. But they're proud of the fact that they're black institutions because we weren't allowed to be educated for so long.
Yeah.
You're stupid.
Wendy. I don't even...
And I told you when she met me, she called me Angela Davis.
Yeah.
I'd really show her Angela Davis off of these stupid comments.
You know, what I've realized about people tend to attempt to assimilate, and in other words, people forget their roots. And Wendy has fallen into the daytime white woman stereotype, where, because the people who watch her show have these same opinions.
Yeah, her show's on Fox.
Yeah, indeed. But the thing is, the general core audience of daytime TV are stay-at-home moms who are typically white women.
Mm-hmm. With horrible opinions.
Yeah. So, which is why The View does so. Oh God, I can't wait till The View dies.
Oh God.
But you know, so it's like, I wonder if she really means those things.
You can't
because like you ever.
When you say something that stupid,
Yeah, no,
you believe that. And she didn't know it was going to be received so poorly.
Yeah, she's 50. She knows better. But it's just like, oh, fuck. Like that's crazy. I can't. I'm not trying to defend her. I'm just trying to understand. But I just...
You're not going to understand because it's
why
stupid.
Why did you do that? Why?
It's stupid. Speaking of K2, in local news...
Girl...
In local news.
Did you see that post? Okay, this is for the people who don't even listen to New York. Disclaimer, this is definitely... you should listen to this shit. I mean, this affects me because this happens closer to, are you talking about what?
The bus? I'm talking about
yes.
all of those people
yes.
who are addicted to K2.
Yes, that's by my house.
I know.
Like,
this is literally like K2 Corner. Like, it's this deli that sells K2, and you have a bunch of niggas running around crazy because they're addicted to it.
And it's so crazy because they put a Wingstop across the street from there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah, that's great. But anywho, full disclosure, I know we're not supposed to side on the police right now, but I report that store all the fucking time. I call 311 and 511 all the fucking time because what has happened and that's why I fucking hate, gentrification is some bullshit. So, the New York Daily News posted this article about this new section in Brooklyn has been gentrified and it's the new hipster spot or whatever. And the article was bullshit because they talked about how they've erased Muslim culture in that neighborhood and it's okay now because there's a Mr. Kiwi and yada yada yada. Anywho, that was already fucked up. But I'm when I read that post, I was like, have they not seen what really happens? So there's 3 shelters in that area alone.
Yeah.
And the reason why people go to K2 so much is because of the fact that by and large, most of the people who are in shelters are black and brown people.
Mm-hmm.
Who's targeting black and brown people? The motherfucking police, and locking them up for years and years and years just for weed.
Yep.
So therefore, they resort to, instead of trying to find a dealer, because to not risk getting arrested for weed, and also on account of them not having enough money for weed, they'll buy K2. K2 is synthetic marijuana, if you didn't know, and it's actually potpourri. It's literally, on the bag, it says not for human consumption. We've talked about K2 on Two Guys and a Girl several times. I talk about it on Twitter
Yep.
all the time. Don't fucking 2K2. This today, as you brought up, 33 people in the hospital at one time because they got a bad batch of K2 from a specific store in Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy.
Yep. Right on Myrtle and Broadway.
Right, I was trying not to tell where I live, but yes, right on Myrtle and Broadway.
You don't live right there, so.
But I'm there every day. Like, right, and it's because right in front of the Tracy Theater. And I told our friend Amber, I was like, have you noticed there's like an influx of like homeless people like just hanging passed out and just going loopy and crazy? She was like, yeah, and she told me about the guy who like ran up on her
With his shoes off.
With his shoes off. And you know, you catch like 87 different types of cancers and like and STIs and shit with just like taking your shoe off and taking the trash out. This man is walking on a train platform with his shoes off.
Running.
This guy approached me, Monday on the train platform, at the outdoor platform. Approached me, asked me if I had any, he asked me specifically if I had K2. I was like, why on earth would I have that? Like in my head, and I was like, no. Like, it is crazy. And I keep telling, and I've said this for the last 2 years of the show that we've been podcasting, the K2 is going to be worse than crack.
It is. It's like a crack epidemic right now.
And I low-key can't wait, because hopefully apartments will go down. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
But no, niggas are legit. Like 33 people hospitalized.
Yeah. When I was at my old job doing case management, they had all got like a really bad batch, and that I had to send every one of them to the hospital that in one day.
What does it do to them?
So K2.
No, I know what K2 does when you get a bad batch.
Oh, when a bad batch. Oh, girl, they throw up. They experience psychosis. They foam at the mouth. They black out. Some of their organs shut down because you never know what exactly can happen to it.
Because they're always changing the formula.
Exactly.
Like meth.
Exactly. If you're interested in more, Vice did a great post video segment on Vice on HBO, and it's about synthetic cannabinoids and how where it's manufactured. There's 100,000 factories in China that make these chemicals to sprinkle on, fucking like lawn shit or whatever, like grass and whatever, and potpourri, and they, ship it in, and they have like these really like intricate packaging, like Scooby snacks or Spice or Blue Moon or whatever the fuck. And there's these people in New York who target the homeless, and also what happens too, because the homeless people don't have any money. Like the homeless people in New York, if they're on public assistance, they get $22.50 every 2 weeks if they live in the shelter. And of course, if they're on Social Security, they get like $733 a month. They always blow through that, but most of the people are on public assistance. It's a fucking shame how much you get. How can you make $22 last for 2 whole fucking weeks? That makes no sense. But they always get almost $200 in food stamps a month. So what do? They cash in their food stamps at that store and buy K2 to cope because of the fact that they're pissed because they don't have any money. So therefore, not only are these stores committing SNAP fraud or food stamp fraud, they're also selling drugs that are killing the black and brown community.
Because these niggas are addicted. Because they want that 10-minute high.
Exactly. And it's just like crack. It only lasts 10 to 15 minutes. And they're trying to chase that high that I just had. And it's never the same, which is why you have to continuously keep smoking to get even higher.
That's crazy. No,
Yeah.
thank you.
It's a motherfucker.
Don't do K2.
Not at all. So that's the show. This is pretty long.
Sorry if it wasn't that funny.
Yeah, this wasn't a fun week.
It wasn't.
Thank you for listening. Some bullshit this week.
Hopefully things will get better.
Yeah.
I don't know how or when, but
Yeah. My album's coming out.
oh shit.
Can't wait.
All right, what's her name? Ariane.
We should got her internship with K. Michelle.
Like, complete internship. Are you getting paid? No, of course not. I'm an intern.
Yeah.
For K. Michelle.
For K.
From My
Michelle.
Little Pony.
For K. Michelle. A Earth-type Pokemon.
Yeah.
Where are you in Pokemon Go?
In the beginning.
How many Pokemon do you have?
I have like 3.
Oh, okay. Oh, we have to get your Pokemon out.
I know.
And before we go, I understand there are some people who just like to steal joy.
Oh, listen.
Why can't y'all, in times of strife, you should be excited that black people are excited about something. Regardless of how ridiculous it is, Pokemon Go does not hurt people.
Nope.
It's not hurting each other.
Nope.
It's not hurting themselves.
Unless you're driving.
Well,
like,
that
like
yeah,
the
but
nigga
yeah,
who crashed.
yeah. Well, they're a fucking douche monkey for that.
Right.
But it's meaningless fun.
Right. Like, get over it. Like, why are you so upset about it?
Like, we are escaping the bullshit about life, trying to catch an Arbok.
That's it.
Like, let it go. Let niggas have some joy. Shout out to Nintendo for, first of all, when I've been a fan of Pokemon going on 20 years. Yeah. 20, yeah. When I was in the 6th grade. Yeah, 20 years. And I've always wondered, like, where did you, what kind of creativity does it take for you to develop this whole world with, like, because, you know, like, Pokemon have their own personalities.
Yep.
Their own, like, fighting style.
I've learned.
And all that good stuff. And there's, like, because it was originally 150, which is a lot of fucking creatures. Now it's like, what, like 350, 400, almost 500 Pokemon characters now.
Mm.
That's crazy as fuck. And it's organized. It's a system. Like, the Japanese are so efficient.
They are.
But Pokemon is lit.
And shout out to The Simpsons for predicting it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
But anywho.
Get over it.
Yeah, get over it. Pokemon Go is lit. Everybody should download it. It's fun. It's a battery drainer though. But, you know, so is Snapchat. And your ugly faces are on it all the time. So just get Pokemon
With
Go.
your Halo filters.
Yeah, it's still ugly. Although my Pokemon Go, like, the gym is in the project, so I'm just not going to go to that Poke Gym. And there's also another on Gates happening, which is, again, I'm not going to that Poke Gym.
Got it.
Yeah. But anyway, see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so work's done and you're craving something spicy and salty. I know. What I do is snack on Blue Diamond wasabi and soy sauce flavored almonds. They're so good, and almonds are a superfood. Don't deny your cravings. Eat them. Blue Diamond almonds. Crave victoriously.
Okay, so you're between meals and you're craving something sweet, right? What I do is snack on Blue Diamond honey roasted almonds. They're so good. And almonds are a superfood. So don't deny your cravings. Eat them.
Blue Diamond almonds. Crave victoriously.